Live in Western Oregon, this is NBC 16 News at 11.
Christmas is a national holiday, but that doesn't mean a day off for many of our local first responders. Good evening and thanks for joining us on NBC 16 News at 11. Filling in for Alan Matthews, I am Alexis Thrower. We stopped by the Eugene and Springfield police departments earlier today. Although they had some Christmas decorations up, not much else was different from any other day on the job. NBC 16's Christelle Coomway caught up with a couple of law enforcement officers on duty today.
From the records section,
Happy Holidays!
To the briefing room, it's business as usual for the Eugene Police Department this holiday season.
Working here is a privilege, and we're glad to be able to help people during the tough times as well as the happy ones.
But that also means missing happy times with their own families.
It's difficult to watch your kids open presents when you're off taking calls. It's difficult to attend your religious services of your preference.
Same story goes for a neighboring department.
I've worked with the Springfield Police Department for about 21 years, and part of working patrol is working holidays.
Officers say it is a sacrifice to work in the line of duty, but
we all recognize that it's an important job and it has to be done. So I think everybody takes pride in the fact that they're out here working on the holidays, keeping the general public safe and allowing them to enjoy their holiday and celebrate with families.
As we go through this holiday season, let's remember those out there working to keep us safe.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays!
I'm Christelle Coomway reporting.
Both departments wanted to remind everyone to be safe this holiday season and not get behind the wheel if you've been drinking. There are increased patrols out now through the holidays. Around 200 people joined in solidarity at the Share Fair today for Christmas. The Neighborhood Anarchist Collective hosted the event at the Eugene Garden Club on High Street. The event is a free market for neighbors to help each other meet basic needs. There were free clothing items, food, music, and much more.
Yeah, and services, so we'll have people that want to give massages will come and do that. We have haircuts. We have a seamstress over here helping people sew up their gear. It's basically, if you're interested in providing a service, you can contact the Neighborhood Anarchist Collective or Burrito Brigade, and we'll plug you in.
Organizers say Eugene has the most homeless people per capita, and they need more access points for the Share Fair to help more people.
I think the only other thing that I would add is over the last 2 years that we've been doing this event, we've moved around to a lot of different spaces, and we're currently looking to hopefully find more permanent locations.
If anyone is interested in donating or contributing a service to the Share Fair, visit neighborhoodanarchist.org. During his annual Christmas Day address, Pope Francis brought up current social, political, and socioeconomic issues plaguing the world. Here in Eugene, we went to Christmas Mass at St. Paul's Catholic Church to ask Father David Brown about keeping faith while dealing with the turmoil in the world. He says Pope Francis makes statements that open the doors for discussion on modern issues. But Father Brown says as the world changes, the foundation of the Catholic Church remains strong.
Our doctrines are not changing. We still believe in Jesus Christ. We will be going forward. I do not expect any large-scale changes, but it is a chance for us to discuss issues of importance these days.
Father Brown says Christmas time can serve as a relief from the turmoil in the world, especially with modern-day chaotic schedules that people deal with.
The general feeling that people give to each other, they are happier at Christmas. They are generally at peace. Maybe it's because they're away from the craziness of the world, the demands in our time.
Father Brown spoke with us after the Christmas Mass at St. Paul's this morning. On to a first look at weather. NBC 16's Heather Melendez joins us now in the Weather Center.
Well, hopefully you're enjoying your Christmas Eve evening, and conditions for tomorrow are going to be partly cloudy with some sunnier temperatures. We are going to have some mild conditions. However, looking for your day planner, we are going to see, because of that lack of coverage, we're going to have lows in the 30s and chances of rain headed our way. Right now, conditions are on the mild side. We don't have anything. It's very quiet, and we are going to see some drier conditions as that high pressure system moves on in. But looking at our highs for today, we did manage managed to see 50s in the Willamette Valley and 52 along the coast, and that is a trend that we are going to see continue on for this week as we start to see drier conditions for the next 2 days, but a chance of rain headed our way. I'll let you know coming up.
Many of us have already opened gifts, and as much as we hate to admit it, some of us are planning to return at least some of them. NBC's Vicki Nguyen gives you what you need to know before you take or ship those presents back to the store.
After ripping open those perfectly wrapped gifts, 75% of us will be heading to the return line.
My mom got us pajamas, and they're so ugly, so we're going to return them tomorrow.
There was like a shirt that I got, and I was looking at it, I was like, I would never wear this.
But there are things to know before you go.
Oh, you shouldn't have, Lester. Say you get a gift that you absolutely love, but maybe it doesn't fit. You need to take it back, but there's no gift receipt.
So you want those products to be in perfect sellable condition, if at all possible.
That means saving whatever you can. Tags, packaging, even hangers could help you get back top dollar. Want to save time and return those gifts by mail? Watch for hidden costs. Some retailers will give you a return shipping label, but still charge you for shipping. And once you ship, confirm the money goes back into your account. And if you're headed to the store in person, make a list to organize your takebacks and check store policies. Timing your trip could help you avoid long lines and maximize your money back.
If you can, wait a little bit after January 2nd. The crowds will be thinner, the lines will be shorter, but you want to try to reach the window January 3rd through January 15th, because after the 15th, some stores will not accept returns and give you the full credit.
And with the added inventory from all those returns, that's also when many new sales will kick in. Vicki Nguyen, NBC News, New York.
Coming up next on NBC 16, fishermen are still reeling from the fire that broke out, damaging an ice plant in Charleston. And later in the show, while we often hear a balanced diet may be the key to living longer, a new study shows fasting may actually do the trick. And if you see breaking news, of course, we want you to give us a call at 541-393-KMTR. That's 5687. Or send an email to newsdesk@kmtr.com.
Get ready, y'all.
C16 News at 11.
A Veneta man is dead after a crash this morning on Highway 126. State police say Travis Ewart was riding a bicycle east on Veneta at about 4:30 this morning when he was hit by a pickup. Ewart was pronounced dead according to Oregon State Police. The driver, Conrad Schwarzkopf, was not injured. The highway was closed for about 4 hours while the scene was being cleared. Many workers on the South Coast are trying to figure out their next steps after a fire destroyed an ice plant in Charleston. That fire in Charleston last week did more than cause property damage. The fishermen who use that dock say they no longer have any way to keep their fish on ice. NBC 16's David Ochoa reports.
According to Charleston fire officials, a motor to the compression system is the culprit of this fire that deposited enough smoke and ammonia into the air that the entire area had to be evacuated. But although the fire is out and the air is clean, the fishermen have an even bigger problem.
For us, I don't know where we're getting ice yet.
Steely Say is a deckhand who works on the last stance at the Charleston docks. He says he had a great view of the fire that happened just across the water.
Yeah, you can just come right around. You can park right over here at OBS and you can see it coming up. It was burning up so bad we were worried that it might get the boats and stuff.
The fire might not have gotten to the boats, but they're still feeling the heat. Many of these fishermen will now need to find new harbors to get ice for their fish.
A lot of us will be looking at going to like Newport and other ports to get ice, being forced out of our fishing port here.
And he says it's going to affect others in the community.
Affects other people too, like people that work on boats. Now they have less boats to work on. And then businesses that service, that restaurants, everything's gonna feel it somewhat from the ice plant.
And we were told that even though this might not have much of an effect on crab season, those who fish tuna and salmon will have a hard time putting their fish on ice. Reporting from Charleston, I'm David Ochoa.
Turning to weather now, NBC 16's Heather Melendez is standing by for a look at what's coming up in your full forecast. Heather with the weather.
Well, a few clouds outside for the moment and our lows reaching the 30s, but we do have a chance of rain. I'll have all those details in my full weather forecast coming up next.
Ducks are migrating south to Pasadena, and so is NB News at 11.
Good news, migraine sufferers. A new medication has just been approved for those who haven't found relief through other medicines. Meredith Wood has more in today's Health Minute.
It's the first drug in its class approved for migraine sufferers, and many could finally have a medicine that works for them. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration announced the approval of Obrogepant this week. It's for the acute treatment of migraines in adults who either can't take or don't respond to current medications on the market. In a study published last month, more than 19% of people given the drug were pain-free in 2 hours, and almost 40% were relieved of debilitating symptoms like light and noise sensitivity. The most commonly prescribed class of drugs for migraines work by constricting blood vessels around the brain, so they are not safe for those at risk of cardiovascular disease or stroke. Obrogepant instead targets a protein involved in the transmission of pain. According to the American Migraine Foundation, 1 in 5 women and 1 in 16 men suffer from the condition. For today's Health Minute, I'm Meredith Wood.
Intermittent fasting could help you live longer. That's according to a review in the New England Journal of Medicine. Many people use intermittent fasting for weight loss, but a review of past animal and human studies in the New England Journal of Medicine indicates it could also reduce blood pressure and improve longevity. Study author Mark Mattson looked at 2 methods. The first involves eating only during a 6 to 8 hour window during the day and fasting for 16 to 18 hours. The other kind, 5-2 intermittent fastings, involving fasting 2 days a week, generally limiting calories on fasting days to 500. Because this research is relatively new, the report advises physicians to monitor their patients throughout intermittent fasting and to take the transition slowly. One Oregon family is thankful for what they have overcome since their daughter was diagnosed with cancer 3 years ago. She was only a toddler when they learned about her condition. She's full of energy and loves to talk. David Haskin reports.
I have a back raise. I have a back raise too. I have a book. Yes, I have a book too.
Camille is Cheyenne's favorite doll.
Right here. See, Camille.
Wonder Woman is her favorite superhero.
Yep. See?
But the real superhero is Cheyenne herself. At just 20 months old, her parents took her to Dornbecker Children's Hospital.
Come on.
You can see how she's trying to hold on to items, trying to walk around. That wasn't normal. An MRI was taken, and then the family waited for the results.
We had this whole team of doctors that came in, and she wasn't even back yet. And so right then I knew. I knew it wasn't good.
There was a cancerous tumor in her back.
It's an anaplastic ependymoma. So it's considered a fast-growing tumor.
Within 6 weeks, doctors had performed 2 surgeries to remove that aggressive tumor.
We thought we were good, and we went in 6 weeks later feeling totally positive we were going to have a good MRI, and then we got the results that it was back. And it was a third the size of the original one.
She went back in for a 3rd surgery, followed up with more than 24 rounds of radiation.
Luckily that worked because your body can only handle so much radiation.
You want to look at some videos? After months of occupational therapy, Cheyenne wears a boot on her leg. She doesn't yet have full mobility or much feeling in it. But that doesn't stop her from getting around.
I mean, I look at her, you look at her run around, and she's found ways to cope with her disabilities.
Wait, Mama, is that song on me?
That's you.
Her latest scan came back clean, but the word remission hasn't been used yet.
And I'm thankful for her that she's here.
This Oregon City family is just thankful.
She's fun. She's a ton of fun to have with us, and she completes us.
This year's version of the Radio City Music Hall Rockettes features a physically disabled dancer for the first time in history. Sydney Mesher, who was born without a left hand, dreamed of becoming a Rockette since she was 6 years old. Now, the 22-year-old is the first visibly disabled dancer to be a Radio City Rockette, according to the dance troupe. Mesher didn't make the cut in her first audition in 2018, but she made it in 2019 despite recovering from a broken foot in the months leading up to the auditions. performance. The Oregon native attributes her strength and success to the support of her family throughout her young career, and the professionally trained dancer performs just like the rest of the cast, making only a few adjustments in the Christmas spectacular. In the Ragdolls dance, she still holds the oversized toy blocked like her fellow cast members, just from a different angle. The Rockettes perform 4 or 5 shows nearly every day of their holiday performance season, which ends January 5th.
And now weather with Heather Melendez.
Well, hope you're enjoying your Christmas Eve evening, and I hope that you enjoyed those temperatures that we had outside, because we are starting to get some dry and mild conditions, and that's going to continue for the next couple of days. But here's a time-lapse of Eugene, of all those clouds really just holding in tightly to those mountains, allowing us to have some sunshine peek through. And again, that is a trend that we will have for the next couple of days, so enjoy it while you can. And matter of fact, enjoy it until Friday. We're going to have some near average temperatures for the week, and then there's going to have a chance of rain on Sunday. Now, looking at our satellite radar, everything's pretty much quiet for tonight. We do have a bit of cloud coverage outside, just very little, and because of that, we're going to have some very cold lows. But looking at our next weather maker, we can really see that this high pressure system starts to move in, and by Thursday morning, we're going to have some drier, sunnier temperature as that warm air just really pushes on through the Pacific Northwest. But as that's happening, we do have this cold front really moving in, giving us a slight chance of showers for Friday morning, but it's going to be very little as all that shower chances start to dry off. Now, looking at our model forecast, we can really see this really play out. On Thursday morning, we're going to have some slight clouds on the Willamette Valley area, and as Friday morning moves in, 8 o'clock, we start to see some scattered showers, hit or miss really, but again, they're very light, and by the evening time, nighttime, it really starts to dry out before that next chance of rain for Sunday. Now, looking at the next 6 to 10 days, we're really having a warm December for the time being. Right now, we're above average on our temperatures for December, but in terms of rain, we're about 50-50, with the lower half being on the drier side, and then northern Oregon being all that rain. But with those sunnier and drier conditions, it's still going to be cold without the clouds. It's making our lows super low. And now looking at your morning for the next day, if you are traveling back, conditions will be dry and brisk. So you're going to grab that large coffee because it's going to be 33 degrees. Now looking at our lows, we are going to have below average colds within the 20s, and then your highs for the 40s. But enjoy those sunnier temperatures while you can. And if you are traveling, just know it'll be like that until Friday, with Saturday being cloudy, Sunday chance of rain, and then conditions will start to mellow out. And in the South Coast, your lows are going to be in the high 30s with your highs in the 40s. And looking at your 7-day forecast, the coast is going to be quite beautiful for the next couple of days. Cloud coverage will start to build on Saturday, Sunday, another chance of rain, and as the week goes by, we'll start to get another light shower coming in. But averages for your temperatures for the week will remain on average, and no below freezing temperatures for your night. Now looking at the Umpqua Valley, your lows are going to be a little bit on the colder side as well. Highs in the mid 40s. Looking at your 7-day forecast, you're going to see some sunshine and clouds for the time being until Saturday. We're going to hug on to those clouds for the time being, and on Sunday we're going to have a chance of rain again. Monday we'll get a brief break, and on Tuesday slight showers again, but on average your temperatures are going to remain consistent. And then take a peek at the below cold for Thursday night into Friday. So enjoy those drier conditions while you can, and definitely bundle up.
Thank you so much, Heather. And next in sports, both Oregon and Wisconsin spent Christmas Day flying out to California ahead of the 2020 Rose Bowl. We have more on the highly anticipated matchup when we return.
Liz, you nerd, cough if you're in here. C16 Sports Desk is brought to you by Three Rivers Casino Resort.
'Twas the day of Christmas and Oregon football received no coal. Rather, they've earned the best gift, a trip to the Rose Bowl. That trip began today. Mario Cristobal, Justin Herbert, and even Troy Dye, the whole team boarded the plane in Eugene. Off to Pasadena they fly. When they arrive, they'll have plenty of practices and activities. A trip to Disneyland Thursday, kicking off their Rose Bowl festivities. As for the Badgers, they left for Pasadena today, making the long trek to Southern California. They bid Madison adieu. This is Wisconsin's third trip to a New Year's Six Bowl in the last 5 seasons. Running back Jonathan Taylor and head coach Paul Chryst, just 2 of the reasons. But it's not all fun and games. The Badgers, yes, they're on a mission. They've lost their last 3 bowl appearances, so a win must come to fruition. Kickoff between these 2 programs is just 1 week away, marking the 2nd time in Rose Bowl history they've met up to play. The Ducks won that first meeting back in 2012. 2 DeAnthony Thomas touchdowns gave them a new trophy for the shelf. Both Wisconsin and Oregon are sure to play with such grit. Tune into ESPN at 2 p.m. You won't want to miss it. All right, no more Christmas rhymes, but we do have a story featuring a South Eugene swimmer. She recently made her commitment to her dream school, and that's got to count as a Christmas miracle. Our reporter Julia Labina has the story.
I was just so excited to put it on, so I wore it all the time.
As a 10-year-old club swimmer, Mia Sanger chose Columbia University as her goal college. And now, 7 years later, she fulfilled that promise with her verbal commitment to the Columbia swim team.
And finally, said in that I would really be able to go to Columbia, and I was just so ecstatic, and I couldn't stop smiling for 5 hours. And yeah, it was a really happy day.
But it wasn't all that unfamiliar. Her mother, Sawa Sanger, attended Columbia, which at first was the primary reason she chose the university. But it wasn't long until she realized it was the perfect fit.
I kind of had a gut feeling about just the excitement that I felt about the opportunity and the things that I would be able to do there. I feel outpaced a lot of the other colleges I was looking at. So I kind of just had that with me the entire time.
And once news spread about her commitment, teammate and best friend Julia Cotting says it was one of the best days in her life as well.
Oh my gosh, I was so happy, the happiest I've ever been. It makes me so happy to know that she achieved her goals.
As Mia closes out her swimming career in Eugene, she's able to look back on the many accolades that she's received in years past. But one thing she hopes to accomplish before she leaves is winning gold.
These ones were the highest I've placed so far, which has been 2nd. And then hopefully I'll be able to get a gold one this year.
Reporting in Eugene, I'm Julia Labina.
Thank you, Julia. That's it for sports. Back to you.
Coming up next on NBC 16 News at 11, while we often associate pumpkins with the fall and Halloween, you can also celebrate with them on Christmas. December 25th isn't just for Christmas. It's also National Pumpkin Pie Day. You may think of pumpkin pie as mainly a Thanksgiving treat, but it turns out pumpkin pie is also a traditional dessert on Christmas Day. Pumpkin pie dates way back to the early 17th century with the Pilgrims in New England, and it has become a favorite flavor for many seasonal products like coffee, ice cream, pancakes, and even beer. So enjoy a slice tonight after your holiday meal, and be sure to post a photo on social media, #National Pumpkin Pie Day. That is awesome. I really don't eat pies, but I definitely see how it plays a huge role in seasonal products. So thank you for watching NBC 16 at 11. Merry Christmas. I am Alexis Thrower, and I appreciate you guys tuning in. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
Performance is your profession, but you strive to take the next step